Man, oh man, we are filling it up. Look at this. Holy crap. We are going to do it. We are going to do it with a smile, too. You can't see me, but I am grinning. Valtimore is going to be very wondrous. And I'm not even stopping to give improvements to these areas. We're just going to gun through to the end, and then sort of just fix everything after the end. That is how we roll here. It's going to be what we do. But yes, man, it's been a long time since I've actually done this city, or started the city. And I remember when I started it, I had like a few hypotheses about it. The foremost of which was I believed I could do this entire city with just streets and roads, no avenues. And it's looking like that prediction is turning out to be true, because I see no traffic problems, so I'm pretty happy about it. And I also predicted it would have a healthy portion of medium and high wealth, and so far it's doing alright in that regard, and it will do even better once we actually have the the services hooked up to some of these other areas. But for now, we got what we got, which is already pretty good, so I'm happy. I think having industrial in areas like this sort of spliced up, is going to help us in the long term. Alright, we need a nice big... And we are making money hand over fist, as the saying goes. We're going to have a soccer field. Something you crazy Europeans call football. You silly Europeans. Football isn't... You don't kick a football unless you're scoring a field goal. You pick it up and you throw it. That's how football is played. Gosh, I don't know why these Europeans are getting it wrong all the time. I mean, sheesh. Yeah, you'd think by now they'd have figured it out. But, oh well. Oh man. So, we are continuing our little thing here. We have little one block houses. And I am quite happy with how this city is turning out. I probably could have done this all more efficiently, but you know, whatever, right? It's fine. It's fine. Look at this. Ooh, I was in swanky mode when I made this area. Look at it, man. Well, there's no reason that swanky mode needs to end. Oh, look at that train. It's a multicolored train. There's another multicolored train right behind it. Oh, man. But yes, we are going to set things up. Have commercial along the major roads, because that is one thing that exists. And we like things that exist because they're familiar to us. We might also like things that don't exist sometimes because we wish that they would be things that we could get familiar with. So it's all part of the stuff. I say the stuff. And we are going to put a medium playground in the middle, fill it in with some oak trees, giving these people a chance to move around and enjoy themselves. Oh man, I told you guys about how I just watched The Big Lebowski the other day. I told you that like a few episodes ago, so you can be forgiven if you don't remember this incredibly trivial detail. But today, I decided, well, since I already watched one of the Coen Brothers movies, I was going to rewatch Fargo. Because I've obviously seen it before, but it's been a rather long time. So I thought today was the day to put it in again. And I forgot how exaggerated the upper Midwestern Scandinavian-esque accents are. It's a whole bunch of "ja," "oh," and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty fun. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. "Ja? You got that, ja?" Very similar to the one accent that I do, which has been described to me as a bizarre combination of Swedish, Indian, and Jewish, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the other piece to that puzzle is. So it's probably Swedish, Indian, and bullshit, to be honest. But it's the only accent I can do, and it's never consistent, even with itself. But yes, I can't do a British accent, and I'm not even going to try for you people, even though I love you. So we are approaching the end of our city here. I'm gonna bulk up these farms just a little bit. And that's another thing. Whenever one of the main reasons I wanted to make a low density city was because I always just get the bug to keep building up, and I feel like I'm wasting land whenever I make like low density stuff in a developed city. So that's one reason why I sort of just wanted to force myself to stay low density until the city was finished, And I think I am pretty happy with the way that it turned out. And also, when I do my organic cities, such as Trinity, I might start out with something that's full of farms, and over time, the farms disappear, and we get left with just urban environments. But in this city, in wonderful Valtimore, the farms are here forever. It's kind of beautiful in a way. And I am very happy that after, 6 or 7 years of playing SimCity, I figured out how to hold down Alt and make the roads do that thing. It's good to learn things like that finally. Yeah, a lot of the little tricks of the trade that you just don't know until you do them. Actually, you know what? We're going to demolish this because I want to sneak in a little rail station over here. Yeah. That's good. It pretty much fits with all this other stuff that we have going on. So that makes us happy animals. Because after all, we are nothing but animals, even if we are brainy animals. And I don't buy into the whole notion that, that other animals are, despite not having conventional intelligence like us, they're more wise than us. I've never bought into that. We are pretty smart. I mean, we're pretty stupid too, but we're only able to be as stupid as we are because of how smart we are. I mean, think about that for a minute, In order to be stupid enough to, use a nuclear bomb, for instance, you have to be smart enough to make a nuclear bomb in the first place. So, the only reasons we are able to have monumental feats of stupidity is because we had monumental feats of intelligence to back them up. It's a pretty comforting thought in a way. Oh man. But yes, you can see on the minimap, everything's being closed in. I kind of regret those blemishes standing out on the minimap, but then again, not much I can do about those. Those are open areas. They're supposed to be that way. But yeah, it just occurred to me how small that mini-map is. I mean, imagine if the mini-map on StarCraft was that small. That would be a headache. You wouldn't be able to see anything. It's like, your forces are under attack, and it blinks, and you're like, where? Where are they under attack? And you would not know. That information would be denied to you. And you would be frustrated. So, it could be said to be a good thing that it's bigger there. Although, in SimCity, it doesn't really need to be that much bigger. Oh, man. So we are making ourselves our final areas here. This is going to be something neat. Yes. Interestingly enough, this is the fourth large square that I've made, but probably the first one that I can actually say is complete. Because, you know, Tom Hanks, there's more to do there. Trinity, there's more to do there. And Epic Cove, remember that thing? That was barely even developed. I mean, the developed areas are kind of trashy, unfortunately, but there's plenty more to do there. So, yeah, this, when it's done, and it will be done soon, it will be the first place that I can hang my hat on and call it fully developed. And that's kind of a cool thing. I mean, I'm not a kind of person who very easily just puts something down and says I'm done and walks away from it. I tend to keep coming back to things and doing things until I literally exhaust every possibility for continuing. I mean, take the example of The Sims 2. From July up until, I guess it was November or December of 2009, I had my original Sims 2 series, which was the first thing that really brought my channel a lot of attention. And I had a pretty clear goal in mind. I would go one generation, meaning I would go until the children that were born to the adults from the beginning were the same age as adults were in the beginning. And I did that. It took 82 episodes. Keep in mind, this was back during the 10-minute YouTube time limit. And I did that. But people wanted more, and I didn't want to let it go. So I decided to create a series. You know, like I always intended to do it at some point, but I had intended to take an extended break from The Sims before doing it. Well, the break lasted like maybe a couple weeks, and then I jumped right into the Lincolns and, you know, Lucy and Puck and all that, and I just continued and continued until I worked myself into a corner, at which point there was not much more I could do. But where to the, well, no, to where the point that editing an episode was so exhausting that I just became too lazy to do it. So yeah, and I've started so many projects that I haven't finished, and I try to cut back on that, but, you know, I'm not a perfect person. By any means, I'm pretty far from it. But, ladies and gentlemen, I want to inform you that this little wedge is it. It is it, ladies and gentlemen. Our city is about to be done. D-U-N, done. That is exciting news. We are going to be driving the last bike here. And that is a reference. You all suck, because none of you get it. Alright, so we are going to put these in. New mayor's monument symbolizes citizen strength. Ooh. You know what? Do we want that in the center? We don't need it in the center. Right there. Not everything has to be in the center. But yeah, we are just moving along here. We are doing the happy work of many men over many generations who fought and died to create the better world that we have inherited. We must not forget their sacrifices, lest we fall victim to the very forces that they themselves were trying so valiantly to defeat. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. Yay! Yes, we are done. Ner, 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 ner. Yeah. Here we go, our crazy zigzag wing ding dong city of Valtimore. Oh, it's so beautiful. We are going to sit back and chill and let all the undeveloped stuff decide to zone it in. Yeah. We'll look at the population tab and watch it rising. Rising and rising. I mean, it's not rising too quickly, but we can't expect everything to be too crazy, you know. But I like what I did here. Have 3 lakes, 3 park areas, a ring of farms around the edge, and our wonderful little low density city surrounding it on all sides. It's quite beautiful. So, just gonna sit back, chill out, and let things develop for a little longer. No, I'm not gonna talk so that you can appreciate it. So we're gonna have silence. Just complete silence. See how you like it. That's right. Complete silence. That too was a reference, but that's one you should get. Alright, so anyway, task number 1 for the post-completion era is to fill in all the water in our lovely city. Of course, accepting the farmland, because they don't need it. But in terms of all this stuff, we are going to build up the pipes. So there we go. And these little exclaves of stuff out there, we don't have to really worry about them either, because they're small and not very consequential. So their needs and wants do not worry me all that much. Yeah, we are just gonna go straight across the map with our water pipes to do this. I'm not gonna be like the big D and count them out, and to be fair, I don't even think he does it anymore. I mean, there's sort of a syndrome that crops up in doing anything like this, where when you first start it, you're so serious and everything's planned out. Damn it. And then, like, when you get into it, it more and more, you just wing it, you know? I think it's the same thing from anything from making videos to raising children, you know? By the time, you know, when something happens to your first child, it's like, oh no, what's going on? What's happening? Oh my God. When you're down to number 3 or 4, you're just like, whatever, he'll live, you know? And There we go. That's the professional way to fix that. Or there. That's an even more professional way. Should be easy. Oh man, I still have those silly pseudo Christian rock power ballads from the StarCraft tournament stuck in my head. So strangely enough, well, it's not really from the StarCraft tournament. It's the company that streams them that chose that music. So I can't put it on the tournament organizers or any of that stuff. It's just quite the lull. Quite the lull burger. I think we got all the water.